For 40 years, people assumed they were sleeping together. The tabloids ran with it, fans wrote letters about it, and some people still believe it. But they were wrong, and the truth is better. John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara made 5 films together: Rio Grande, The Quiet Man, The Wings of Eagles, McClintock, and Big Jake. They met in 1941 at John Ford's house, and they didn't make a picture together for nearly a decade after that. The friendship came first. Everything you see on screen was built on top of 9 years of knowing each other before a camera ever pointed at the two of them. And that's why it works. That's why nothing else quite looks like it. O'Hara said it best. She was the only leading lady big enough and tough enough for him. Now, watch her in The Quiet Man. She never once shrinks. She hits back, holds her ground, and she makes him earn every inch of it. Wayne worked with a lot of actresses who played opposite him. She's the only one who played across from him as an equal. And on set, they protected each other. John Ford was a brilliant director, but he was a cruel man. And he humiliated both of them in front of crews for years. They formed a kind of defensive coalition, the two of them against him. You go through that with somebody and it makes something that doesn't come apart. Now, Wayne, who by his own admission preferred the company of men, made exactly one exception in his life. He said she was a real friend, like a man would be. He said she was a great guy. And coming from him, that was the highest thing he knew how to say about a person. In 1978, they were both diagnosed with cancer at the same time. Hers was uterine, his was stomach. Now, when her doctors gave her the all clear, Wayne cried on the phone. That same year, her husband died in a plane crash, and by the spring of 1979, Wayne was dying, and he knew it. He was frail, he was embarrassed by it, and he turned away hundreds of people who wanted to see him just one last time. He let almost no one in, but he let her in. She sat with him for 3 days and put on what she called a cheerful Irish act, so he wouldn't see how frightened she was. When he got low about his body and about turning 72, she told him this: "Mileage never hurt a Rolls Royce. We are a couple of Rolls Royces." Then she flew to Washington and stood in front of Congress with no prepared statement and asked them to give him the Congressional Gold Medal. She asked that they strike it with one phrase: John Wayne, American. And they did exactly that. He watched her testimony from his hospital bed, and he died 16 days later. Stories like this warm my heart, and if they do the same for you, I'd love you to subscribe to the channel. It's not a Rolls Royce yet, but I'm working on it. New episodes coming soon. Now, I watch The Quiet Man pretty much every spring, somewhere around St. Patrick's Day. My mother was first generation American, and a few years back I stumbled onto my grandmother's birth town in West County, Cork, without even planning to. So that film has a job to do for me that has nothing to do with John Ford. But every time I watch it, What I'm actually watching is two people who trusted each other completely 40 years before I knew any of this. I'd say more about the film here, but it deserves an episode of his own, so I think that's what we'll do. Maureen O'Hara wrote one line about John Wayne after he was gone. He was my friend, and I loved him dearly. That's the whole thing. I'm Mark. This has been 2 Minutes on Two People. I'll see you on the next one.